Hello, this is Nicholas Webb, and well, I'm just having, I guess, another review of some toys I've been getting, I guess. Here is D-Arts Zero. Now, I really should have done an unboxing because, quite honestly, it came in kind of weird condition. Like, this arm right here had some issues with, it just had some issues. Like, it was the joint in there was turned sideways while the outside plastic was weird. It was like, I guess there's kind of a inside bone and then this little outside plastic, and the outside plastic was turned weird. And this hand right here, this arm piece, wouldn't go on. Now what I did is I looked in there and I saw there was a little kind of, I want to say a polyp is what you'd call it. Little polyp that I took my pocket knife and scraped off. So, those are the main issues, and the joints on this were fairly stiff. The ponytail still is. Not really sure how the joints are supposed to go. Though, D-Arts do amazing job on these figures. I just think this every other figure of a character seems to be off. And I don't know how the other Zero is, but this one has those slight issues. Now, overall, the figure is amazing. I mean, it really is. And it's been really hard for you to get a good quality Zero figure. And I should know, I've gotten some ones in the past, and they have stunk, which I'm trying to see if I can get to. All right, I got my Zero. I don't have his blade, but who cares? This figure kind of stunk. So here's the figure that I had beforehand. Now, yes, it's not necessarily fair to compare this toy to this, because this is D-Arts. I paid $40. This I paid like maybe $10. But the general feel is like, it just doesn't work. Now, you can tell it's the same character, but, well, first things first, the ponytails on Zero figures, I don't know what it is. I'm worried about this one, but it looks like it's in there pretty good. But the ponytails always break off. And the saber that this one came with, right here, it just looked pretty stupid and didn't look too good. So, comparing them side by side, and this is the only other Zero figure I have. I don't have the Japanese one, which also looked kind of dorky too. This one just takes the cake and eats it and smears it all over someone's face. So, it's pretty bad. I mean, I understand, like, that, they can't get everything perfect. Like, I just don't see why they can't have, like, fuse some joints, have the similar type joints here, and have, like, a similar mold and stuff. Get the mold right and just have, articulation not as good as this, and have it, a cheaper version or something. But this toy line, I mean, the big heads, the fact that their stomach spills out over the pelvic area is just silly. I just don't know why they do it. This is like just ugly to look at, really. I mean, it's like, I'm Zero, and I have a big head or something. There's only one figure that I thought looked really decent. I mean, I got this because I wanted a Zero figure, and this is all I could get my hands on at the time. But the only figure from this toy line that I think looked probably decent was Axel, and that was it. And Axel, he kind of had a big head, so, and he had details that lended himself to these type of toys. So I wish I got that Axel, but I never could really get my hands on it. This is back from like when KB Toys was around, and this is what I got in today. This guy is spectacular, has the same articulation as the Mega Man X figure, except has ponytail, and there's a little port here for the Z Saber, so if you take off the energy blade, which you can just go pop it off right there, and you can just stick it in there, and I don't want to do it right now. So if you want to get that, just get your hands on the figure. It's not a bad price one. It's high end, but it's nice. This one, again, I just wanted a Zero figure and I couldn't get one, except for this one. I would have preferred the Japanese one, which looks better, but you know, I'm standing these next to each other, and you can tell these are just terrible. This is just a terrible figure, and this one's nice. It looks good. It's though I had plenty of problems with it when I opened it up. I should have did an unboxing video because, well, basically it wasn't put together tightly. So this arm was off actually. When I pulled him off, his arm stayed behind. And I had a heck of a time getting this. I had to really force it in there after I cleared it out. But now that I have it in, I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad I don't have to send it back in. But I had problems just right from the get-go. So there's always one thing is when you have a when you get a figure from, especially when it's straight from Japan, I have this theory that there's a possibility that they're kind of saying, well, our audiences won't want to have these because they have a defect. We'll just sell them to the people who are sending them overseas. I mean, I don't know if that's really what's happening, but that's what I think happens. But you know, whatever. It looks nice. They did a great job on it. When I saw like the previews, I was like, yes, I want to get this, and well, here it is. Probably shouldn't have spent the money, but I think it's really worth it. It's good to have, you know, one really good Zero figure. The only other one I got is the Zero from Mega Man Zero, and that one had its own issues. I might do a video on that later, but its ponytail busted off too, like immediately from just the simple movement of it, because it was, well, basically the sheet of plastic, the yellow one, because this is the K something version, you know, the model kit, totally messed up, and the little ponytail just snapped off and held on to it. So it's like, and all the yellow plastic is very brittle, so it was a bad mold. Now I'm lucky it was a yellow one, because if it was anything else, it would have been a disaster, because then you would have a lacking. Then, you know, if it was like the blue area, then he would just fall apart. He would just snap like nothing. So that toy line, the one that has Mega Man, Roll, and Proto Man, that model kit line, whatever, has issues with, at least the Zero one had some issues with, you know, the brittle parts. And this one, you know, it took me a while to push him back together because he wasn't assembled right. But now that I got him right, and I, you know, shaved off the weird polyp that was inside here that was interfering with his arm going on, he is a great figure. I don't really want to use the Buster much on him because Zero has always been cooler without the Buster. We all know it. You have to admit it. So I'm quite pleased with the figure. I just a little disappointed that I had to assemble it a little bit when, you know, I paid $40, $40 some odd dollars for this thing, and didn't come fully in. So I guess that's all I really got to say about this. If you're a Mega Man X fan, this is the one to pick up, because it's the one that's, you know, he's always used. I hope they, you know, come up with more of them. Like, I would love to see an Ultimate Armor X and stuff like that. And that one, they should electroplate. But I digress. I'll do a video about my thoughts on electroplating these figures, but later. So I hope to catch everyone later. Have a, you know, wonderful week, and peace, love, and peanut butter.